Okay, Michelle, I think I have some issue with the live. I think it's live. Hi Harika, welcome. Welcome to our Swadhyaya challenge. Thank you for coming up and taking up this one. It was a wonderful session last week. So we are looking forward to hear from the second chapter from you.
Thank you so much, Pushpa. Thank you for giving this time for me. Thank you for helping me practice whatever is provided in the Contentment Dividend book. Friends, we are in the second chapter of Contentment Dividend this week. Last week we practiced um, embracing the unknown, accepting that there is unknown everywhere, and we also discussed few points where we can be aware and um, make decisions even there is unknown areas. So today we are going to learn about the chapter unsparing kindness. So let's discuss more after the meditation. Let's just sit for 10 minutes meditation. Mission music. Please close your eyes. Come into this moment. Having your breath. Masters, there's this wonderful technique that I learned in this last week. Quickly center our heart and come into that meditative state. That it's just breathing for 13 seconds first, 8 seconds next, 5, 3, 2, 1. Following the Fibonacci series. So I'm going to count, breathe in and breathe out, and follow my instruction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. I'm breathing for 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. I'm breathing for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2. whatever we are going to learn today. We are getting it directly from the universe, from the author. Is helping to answer our questions, to gain the right wisdom. That's it, but also influence the collective consciousness. अखिल देवनुत पदे अखिल देवनुत पदे अखिल देवनुत पदे परदेवते अखिल देवनुत पदे परदेवते पालय शुमा परमेश्वरी अखिल देव नूतपदे परदेवते पालय शुमान् परमेश्वरी अखिल देव नूतपदे. अखिलाण्डेश्वरी अखिलाण्डेश्वरी आदिशक्ति अखिलाण्डेश्वरी आदिशक्ति सुखप्रदायिनी अखिलाण्डेश्वरी आदिशक्ति सुखप्रदायिनी अगविनाशिनी अखिलाण्डेश्वरी आदिशक्ति अघविनाशिनी अखिल देव नूतपदे अखिलाण्डेश्वरी आदिशक्ति सुख अघविनाशिनी सकलकला निलये मुरालिगणप्रिये गुणालये मणिमये सकलकलानिलये मुरालिगण प्रिये गुणालये मणिमये सकलकलानिलये मुरालिगण प्रिये गुणालये मणिमये अखिल देवनुतपदे परदेवते पालया सुमा परमेश्वरी अखिल देवनुतपदे अखिल देवनुतपदे अखिल देवनुतपदे All gratitude to our beloved Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji for giving us this platform, for teaching us this Anapanasati meditation, and for releasing us, giving us freedom for lifetimes. To all the masters supporting us, to Mother Earth, and to this universe. To slowly come back to your physical state. Feel your fingers and toes, your eyes, open your eyes. Thank you so much, friends. So let's get back to our chapter. The the title of the chapter is Unsparing Kindness. So, Godard can just name it as kindness, but he didn't name it as just kindness. He named it as unsparing kindness. So there is something more to it. It's not just being kind. That's what I understood after reading the name of the chapter. Why unsparing, right? So he says that we, if we truly know how people suffer physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it would transform the way we treat others. But the thing is, it's not possible for us, for you in this form, to experience what others are going through, because you have to realize that it is you in the form of the other person experiencing that life. Because we just get disconnected, we don't know, we forgot that we all come from the same source and we are all one. We just create our own boundaries around and consider treating others as a separate entity. So he says that we are each suffering through the rigors of living from time we are born until we die. If we could fully know the suffering of each person with whom we interact, it would induce empathy, and with that we could express unsparing kindness. It's practically not possible, but if only we could do it, then we would definitely be kind to everyone around. Friends, though we are practicing meditation, lot of times we are, I would say at 90% of the time, we are kind. Patriji taught us no judgments and no complaints, right? So we are kind, but there are still some minute things that we have to realize and aware of. So we are practicing kindness. These things we are reading because we are fine-tuning ourselves. We were born to grow in love, getting through each day, we even suffer unknowingly. Right? Our soul is a spark of divine longing to return to God. The demands of our mind and our existence in this world mask that separation. As I was just telling you before, the mind and the demands of this world. So he talks about ego here. It comes in the next paragraph. That is what is separating us from the source. We are masking ourselves to separate. What are we trying to achieve? We are trying to continue to exist in love. We are trying to go back to that source, and that is what we are practicing every day, even through unified, even through meditation, through so many channels, through so many ways, right? So our journey through this lifetime could be a journey to love source, that is nothing but God or the infinite or whatever you want to name it. So how could love be expressed? I was trying to understand, and in Thousand Seeds of Joy it's mentioned, right? So the frequency, love is the highest frequency, and for it to be expressed it has to spread out and it has to take a form. For our human brain to comprehend love, we need to associate love with few words and few expressions. And there is a huge list of um, forms, expressions of love, and one of that is kindness. So there is empathy, there is sympathy, there is I don't remember the names now, but yeah. So there are in kindness is one of the ways to express. So Godard says that so when meeting people, strangers, store staff, co-workers, hired workers, health professionals and other professionals, friends, frenemies, relatives, family, prospective partners, many of us act under the sway of ego in a state of yet to be realized love. So when we mask ourselves with ego, we separate ourselves from others, and we cannot express kindness. And we don't express. Basically, the moment we start masking our ego, we will start separating it. We will start judging those persons. So I'm sure when we go out and when we are with many people, it is true. We are being kind, we will be kind, but there are still few people in our life who trigger anger, who trigger those irritation within us. Why this person is doing like this? Or if it could be during our spiritual work, it could be in the office, or it could be at home, it could be even our kids. They trigger our ego so quickly. We just ask them to do something, can you please get it done? And they would say, no, I don't care. And then the ego triggers, right? So there you'll say, I asked you something and you don't want to give me, and you don't want to do that. And you start separating yourself out from everyone. At that point, we should be more aware to understand what is that person going through inside. Why is that person not in line with what we are thinking? Okay, so why do we have that? Why is that person behaving in that way? It's practicing kindness. So first thing to do is, in that moment when you're getting irritated, observe yourself. Okay, I'm getting irritated. I asked something and that person did not say. So why am I getting irritated? Is it my ego that is hurting? So if my ego that is hurting, why am I at that moment? What I would say, what if I'm not? What if the other person is not doing? What happens? Is that okay or not? And we can start asking questions. Why you don't want to do it? The more questions we ask, the more answers we will get. And it's some point of time, people are not ready to answer. People are undergoing a lot of trauma within, and they're just reflecting out. We don't know. So try to understand the situation and just let go. Be kind. Thich Nhat Hanh, when he was interviewed about the same question, small kids were interviewing him. They asked, why do people trouble us? Okay, and what should I do when someone is troubling me? Then Thich Nhat Hanh mentioned, if someone is troubling you, that means they are troubled inside. Right? So whatever is inside is reflecting out. So what you are, if that person is troubled inside, that is the reason why he is troubling you. So, what do? Give that spark of kindness to that person. You don't have to um, go out of your way and do something, hug that person or do something, but just release this intention that, oh, this person is troubled. I wish I could do something to make that person feel better. That's all. That's all is needed. How I think Mahatma Gandhi was also doing. If someone is, he also gave the same, but not the same, a different way of acting. If someone is hitting you, show the other slap, right? Show the other side of the face. So when you're doing that, you are allowing the other person's ego to melt with our gentle spark of kindness and love. It's a connection that you're putting, creating with that other person's heart. And if you are able to transmute the kindness and transmute the energy, the love, to transmute that energy into love and kindness, and I'm sure that person will definitely carry it to someone else. So it's just that light that we are spreading across through our basic act of kindness. So, Masters, it's not just what we are doing good for ourselves, not just for that person, we are doing it for the whole universe. If the whole universe is spreading love, the collective consciousness changes, and we don't have to work so much, spend our energies to overcome the collective consciousness, because everyone will be in the same love state, right? So each of these physical and mental contacts is an opportunity to think, speak, and act with unsparing kindness. Beware of each interaction and give your kindness unstintingly, right? So without any hesitation, basically. Knowing yourself and others to some extent is easy to get hurt, to feel unsure, unseen, unheard, to feel like a lone cactus on the sandy dune, longing for the dewdrops of a balmy night. This is one reason why it is vital to give unsparing kindness. So he says, lot of us feel lonely. I know some of us not, because we are connected to the universe. But you have to understand that we are connected, right? The other person is not. So the other person is always feeling lonely. People who don't understand spirituality, they are not able to, who are not at that, who have not ever evolved so well, they are fighting this world out alone. They they just feel that they're alone there. There is nobody to support them. So our act of a sweet balm on the other person, it will raise the energetic love of yourself and others in both you and the person who you are extending kindness. I think I just told the same thing. You are cultivating and realizing yourself, your truer self. When you are giving it out, you are knowing that this is what you are. Being human in this way pays dividends that beget dividends of content. So it says that he's saying that when you be like that, it goes around and comes back. And you will definitely reap those dividends. And the contentment is love, and you will receive love. And that is the only contentment that continues to exist beyond time. As I said, that the expression of love is kindness. Giving selfless, unsparingly of kindness mystically fills you and transmutes you to a higher state of being. And you are transformed into an ineffable, auspicious contentment. So the more you give, the more love you give, the more love you get. It is flow, my dear friends. Energy is flow, and it cannot be created or destroyed. And it cannot be, I know it can be stored, but eventually it will dissipate. So be ready to spread that kindness to everyone, including your enemies, including the people who are troubling you, including the people who are irritating you. What is the fate of being unsparingly kind? You pray it forward. So this is what happens. When you send it forward, your kindness goes out in the world and as an inducement to empower ourselves to transcend our down-pulling world and minds. This is what I was telling. So it will eventually influence the collective consciousness, which is always trying to be negative, right? So the worldly consciousness or the group consciousness where we are living in this Maya, it is all, we know that we are fighting against it every day, right? Not getting into, trying to not succumb to that energy. So that the more you give out to everyone, to people, the act of kindness and love, the more it will influence that collective consciousness. Through others' experience of your kindness, you inspire them to pray it forward. So when you give it, they will also give it. Yeah, so exactly this is what I was telling. Ruled in various ways and degrees by your ego, most of the time you shunt it aside in those timeless moments. So those moments are there, right? I know 90% of the time we are really, really nice and kind and great. But only those moments where your ego comes in, very minute cases, right? So if it rears up voicing gratuitous judgments and criticisms as it is wont to do, overrule it. Try to overrule it. So again, that's what he says. In no case we should judge, we should criticize. I will give my example, friends. At most of the time we think that we are really good, okay? I also think that I'm very nice and kind and I'm gentle and I'm loving and I spread out love. But think of those, be aware of those moments when someone else is teaching you a new concept or someone is teaching you the concept that you already know. Okay? Immediately your mind inside will start criticizing it. Oh, I've heard it already before. I I read this book. Does it say it this way or does it say something else? I experienced it myself so many times. My critic inside comes out because of my ego. It comes out and it tells me, it gives me so many questions, evaluating and judging what am I listening. So the moment I become aware of it, I will say, stop. There is something, if I'm here at this point of time, that means there is something that I have to learn, that I have to remind myself. Otherwise, I would not be here. And then I open up my mind and I listen and I get the cues for what I should do next. This is a very typical example that I wanted to give. So, those kinds of moments where You have to shunt your ego and criticism and overrule it and bring out your kindness. If you see people from different countries, from few specific countries, we have this, I would say, we have this kind of a block in our head that they are not safe. It's not safe to communicate with them, maybe because of various reasons. So, those moments, that is also your ego. That is your ego in the form of fear, in the form of protection coming down to you and judge that other person and not letting you spare your kindness. Especially when you're driving, when you're in the parking, when you're trying to in traffic, when you're trying to take a turn. Friends, I know this happens. You don't allow the other person to cross, you don't allow the other car to let go, right? Or we don't realize that someone is walking around and we have to wait for that person. That is the act of kindness. Those small things we have to refine ourselves, and every moment, spread that love. So, when you're selflessly, instinctively kind, you imbibe yourself in saintliness. So, the more you do like this, the more you increase your frequencies. And this is a wonderful fate to transmute into, right? So, by doing this, what's happening, friends? It is us who is increasing our frequencies, it is us who is elevating. I know we are doing great help to the universe, but by doing this, it is we who are getting benefited. You also open yourself to being embraced by the pervading oneness. So when we start opening up, we become one. We feel that oneness. In one way, the oneness expresses is as the only loving force of kindness. What sweet balms may come when. So remember, friends, when we are kind, we will also receive kindness, and that kindness we will come in the form of serendipity, in the form of help from various situations wherever we need. No, we don't even expect what's going to come, but masters will do us. If only we spread it, it comes back. So, friends, that's all for today. For me, the takeaway is this week I want to practice spreading that kindness, irrespective of who I who I talk to, interact with. I want to spread that spark. Remember to spread that spark. Thank you so much for listening. And friends, I open up. If anyone want to share any experience, if anyone want to talk, please unmute and talk.
Friends, if you have any questions, please unmute. I think personally, everybody can, connect to this. Though you're spiritual or not spiritual, like before meditation, it was something different. But after meditation, also, like how difficult is to, put hold on your mind and the ego, and it suddenly triggers like, I am right, I'm doing the right thing. Why is this guy is not understanding? Why is just so demanding? Why is don't look at my perspective? 100 questions come in one go. So it was very helpful, Harika. I mean, this is not for others, it's for us. Like, how do we, not differentiate the other person from us, and how to always connected with the divine. Really, really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for giving me. When I'm talking all these things, when I'm thinking through, it's me also who is learning and remembering these things and practicing. I think it's more to practice and then not just listening and saying and talking. Why? Yeah. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining. If you don't have anything else, then we can end the session. But please unmute and share something so we will feel motivated.
Yeah. Yeah, Monica.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica.
No, thank you for teaching us all these kindness and how to have more patience. Sometimes it's hard, but I always try my best. Yes.
Right,
Thank
it's
you.
just that moment of awareness. If we lose it, we fall.
Yes.
Okay. I think this is a very small chapter, so we can wind up.
So, Harika, like, do you want to summarize quickly?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sure. So quickly to summarize, in this chapter, we have just revisited why we should be kind to everyone. What is the reason? Because we cannot really experience or comprehend what the other person is going through emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. What is the suffering that other person is going through? And we act with kindness and we spread that kindness to each and everyone we interact with, because if we push it forward, we spread it, that is going to carry to many more uh, many more people around, and it is going to influence the whole community and the whole consciousness. Unsparingly be kind, without any expectations and without any conditions. So I'll remind you again, if someone is being rude to you, that is because that person is troubled inside. So remember to have put this intent that this person is troubled inside. I wish I can do something to make that person feel better. I think that's the best thing that I have learned, and I have been teaching all my kids and whoever I speak to. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. We'll meet again next week with another chapter.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Pushpa. Thank you, PMC USA.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.